What's going on, Falcon fan? This is Warkando coming back at you with another video. So today, Victory Monday, the Atlanta Falcons get the win over the Carolina Panthers. A convincing win, as it should have been, because the Carolina Panthers are definitely going through some things this season. So the Atlanta Falcons go in. A little shaky to start out, but they was able to finish off like they should in convincing fashion with a dominant win where the Atlanta Falcons actually had a kneel formation at the end of the game, which we haven't seen that all season. So good things happen here. What's going on, EQ? Good things happen on yesterday's game. We're definitely gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about the game itself. We're gonna get into some things that I still think the Atlanta Falcons definitely need to be worried about. We're going to get into the play of the game, which I think may be the play of the game. We'll get out some game balls and things like that. But, when we're looking at this Atlanta Falcon team, you can see the progression of it. Early in the season, we were talking about the defense, right? How well the defense, especially teams, was playing. Matter of fact, the game we won against the Aints was definitely, we contribute that definitely to the defense and the special teams. And we was kind of worried about the offense. The last 2 weeks, the offense put up over 74 points combined, and looked like the offense is clicking all cylinders, passing 500 yards. And in one game, came back the next week, ran for 200 yards, just showing, the explosiveness this offense can be once they put it all together. And it gives opponent defenses something to think about, right? When you start to think about, how to be able to defend this offense. So, and I still think they got so much room to grow, in this offense. So we're going to definitely get into that today, guys. With that being said, if you have not already, go ahead and please subscribe to the channel. Please hit that notification bell so you know I drop another video. Please hit the like button so I know you guys out here I talk about. Then please share my video throughout the YouTube universe so more people can come in here and talk about. That's right, these Atlanta Falcons. Yeah, we're going to get into that. That was not a fumble, man. I couldn't believe it either. I was so sure that when he caught the ball, the guy touched him and he went to the ground. I don't know, man. It seems like the Falcons, they just don't like the Falcons sometimes. And then you kind of start making you question things when you start looking at crap like that. But it didn't hurt us in the game. So it did get them 3 points on the board, which I didn't like that. But, it is what it is, guys. So, guys, we will talk about a breakdown of the game today, real quick. It was actually a fairly close game where the number of plays was kind of equal on both sides. The Atlanta Falcons put up 68 plays. The Carolina Panthers put up 62. Total yards for the Atlanta Falcons 423. Panthers 335. The big thing that I want to look at is third downs. The Atlanta Falcons with 50% on third downs this week. You gotta love that. It just showed the progression going on week by week of them getting better and better on third downs. Time possessions, the Atlanta Falcons had the ball for a minute more than the Carolina Panthers. They had rushing yards. They had 114 rushing yards to our over 200. I know it says 198, but you factor in the kneel downs and things like that. Yeah, I just it was over 200 yards. So I get it. They're gonna say 198, but I still believe that it was over 200 yards. And with both backs going over 90-some yards, it's just impressive in itself. So you gotta love that. We had one turnover, which they say is a turnover. I just EQ's talking about it right now. He caught the ball. He hit both elbows, hit the ground, headed in. The guy knocked it out. I just don't understand the fumble. Luckily, the Falcons were able to hold the Panthers to a field goal on that possession. But I agree with you 100%. I don't think it's a fumble. But man, it just seemed like can't get breaks when it comes to the refs, the way they call plays and things like that. We did have 5 penalties yesterday, which is better. Considering we had been penalized a lot, especially on the offense side of the ball. So that's good. We did have some defensive penalties. So 5 penalties, 45 yards is not bad at all. But But the thing is, I'm taking from it, of course, the rushing yards from the team. Um, both running backs went off like they were supposed to in this game. Our run defense still is really, really leaky. They didn't. I mean, considering they only had 114 yards, but still, in my opinion, I think they had some explosive there in the run game on defense, which I didn't like. So we got to do better in that. We did get 2 interceptions in the game. AJ Terrell got his first interception since 2019. Then Clark Phillips, which made a especially an unselfish play on his pick six that he actually kneeled down right at the 1 yard line. So you gotta love the young man's intelligence for one thing, and then just something that we seen on film in college when he was at the University of Utah. Being able to get a ball and pick six. That's what he did at Utah, and he read the play perfectly, and he went right there and made the play. So you gotta like that. All right. So overall, guys, I love the way this game played out. Atlanta Falcons was really balanced. They had 225-yard passings, 200 yards rushing. So you gotta like what you seen from Atlanta Falcons yesterday. Okay, let's be honest. The opponent was what we thought the opponents, was going to be. However, it is a division opponent, so you had to be careful there because you play division games. You know how close division games be. But Atlanta Falcons won convincingly in this game. In my opinion, actually, it was closer than it should have been, and that's what we're going to talk about when we talk about some things that we still need to be concerned about going into Week 6 against the Seattle Seahawks this week. But for the most part, you can see this team growing week after week, and and in the process of getting better and better, they actually is getting wins at the same time. So that's what you like to see, the W's. You want to see the W's coming in, and that's all you can really ask for at the end of the day. So good win for our Atlanta Falcons, 3 in a row. The last time Atlanta Falcons had a 3-game winning streak, it was years ago. Just put it in that perspective. It was a while ago since they had a 3-game winning streak. Can they make it 4? We'll see this week on Sunday back in Mercedes-Benz Stadium before we go back and play our division opponents again. They're really going to get their get back, and that's in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New Orleans Saints. So we got a couple of tough games coming up, but we got to keep it rolling, and that's what we want to be able to do. So, guys, that's the breakdown of the game from me in a nutshell. Next, we're going to talk about key plays of the game. So, for me, when you look at key plays of the game, we just talked about, it's convincing win, right? But honestly, to be honest with you, the biggest play in the game for me was the interception by AJ Terrell. Right? Yes, the Atlanta Falcons had scored. They were still up in the game. But the Carolina Panthers was still getting momentum. They was moving the ball, making it a 1-score game again. And AJ Terrell came up big, right? And if you're looking at the Falcons Twitter crowd, I know everybody was out there looking at it. Everybody was pissed off at AJ Terrell because he was like he was getting cooked by by the receiver from the Panthers, right? And he gave up a touchdown pass. He slipping in just like he wasn't getting his footing, right? And he come back and he make a huge play. And be honest with you guys, it's interesting because when they was driving the ball, I said it. Somebody need to make a play. Somebody need to get a turnover. And the next play, out of the blue, lo and behold, unlikely guy, because I just talked about it. He had an interception in 4 years, 5 years, and he finally get a pick. So that was something nice to see. Maybe he unlocked something, and finally the floodgates open up for him to start. Because he is a good corner, right? Can't say he's great because he don't get enough hands on the ball enough, but he is a good corner. And Raheem mentioned that they put him against the best receiver week in and week out. So, I mean, that's what you do when you get paid the big bucks. So he have to start making some plays. And, you're going to get beat on some plays. It is what it is. That's the life of a cornerback. You're not going to make every play. But good, in my opinion, that was the key play of the game. Now, somebody could say one play that if you want to factor in is the play that Tyler Algier made after he had contact, like 6 yards, from the line of scrimmage, and then he picked up another 15 yards just running over guys because his legs kept moving. That was a momentum play, and that drive was really the seal of the game, right? So if you want to talk about that drive in particular, when Tyler Algier ran over the guys, and that drive was a statement drive, I thought, for the Atlanta Falcons. And that kind of put the game away after that drive. But in my opinion, the player of the game for me was really the interception from AJ Terrell. I thought they was moving down the field. They had started to get their running game going a little bit with Chuba Hubbard, and the Atlanta Falcons, they would just close it up, close the gate open right there with AJ Terrell pick, and then they didn't look back after that. So you gotta like somebody stepping up. Usually it's Jesse Bates or something like that, or Grady making a big play, or but unlikely hero, and it was AJ Terrell. So for me, that was a really huge play for us, and that's my play of the game for this week. The pick from AJ Terrell. Glad he finally get out the snot since 2019. Raheem joked about it. He said he couldn't get a pick till he came back. So I love that. Let's see here. EQ says, you wait one day, Ray is going to explode too. He can't be Cobra. Watch his route running, open every play. It's funny you mentioned Ray Cloud. He made a huge third down catch. I forget what drive it was, but Kurt put it on him. You're right, and it's weird because Atlanta Falcons have a neck for bringing guys in that's been in the league a while. That has not had a big role on other teams, and then to come to the Falcons, and they carve out a role for themselves. I look at a guy like Cordell Patterson, right? Cordell Patterson was usually a gadget guy, semi running back, semi receiver and stuff. And then he came to Atlanta, and he actually, got a role with the Atlanta Falcons. And he was really productive for the years he was here with us, right? And you look at a guy like Ray Cloud, a guy who's usually been a kick returner, and things like that. Now he's our third receiver. And to your point, Ray is definitely making plays week in and week out, huge catches on third down, keeping the ball moving. And Kurt is looking for him, right? He's not shying away from him, and he's making plays. And I agree with you. It wouldn't be a shock for me if Ray have a big game on one of these weeks as well, because you are 100% correct. Ray Cloud has been playing good, but he make big plays, and it's just interesting that for the neck, Falcons know how to find them. D offer, right? Nate Landman, guys you just bring in, and these guys just take off, right? That's what you like to see. Good Dirty says, do we wait too long to lean on the run game? Yeah, I think because of the success that we had so much in Tampa, the game plan might want to come out and try to pass the game again, try to pass the game. But once they figure out that they couldn't stop the run, and you heard Kurt talk about he went to Zach Robinson, so he just run the ball, and they figured out with that two-headed monster, because the problem with the Falcons offense and running the ball is you don't get a break when a running back goes out. You don't get a break. It's two different styles. You got the hammer and Tyler Algier. Sometimes you might need to start off with him running because he's going to soften those guys up. And then you put Bijan in, and just, man, when Bijan hit the hole, it's like he could just go all the way because he's just so smooth and slick with it. But Tyler is going to bring the pain, man. And the offensive line love running the ball. You got to tip your head off to Charlie Warner as well, because he was opening up some holes. Him and Christian Lindstrom, man, this is a great run offense. Once they get it going, it's really, really tough for somebody to do something to those guys. So you got to love that. He says, about the run game. Last thing. Listen to the mic up. Tyler is mic'd up. He's pounding people. Yeah, I seen it out there. I haven't looked at it yet, man. Tyler he's ridiculous, man. That guy. And you know what? Just want to let everybody know we got one more year with Tyler, at least one more year, because I don't know if we're going to be able to keep him after next year because he's going to get paid, man. He's so good, but we do got one more year with Tyler, luckily. Hopefully we can keep him. Man. Hopefully he want to stay with the Falcons. You know, he will have to take a lesser pay, definitely. But we'll have to see, man, because I just love the way Tyler Algier runs the ball, man. That two-headed monster is something special, and luckily we got him at least for one more year. So you gotta like that. But once again, guys, just talk about the key player of the game for me was AJ Terrell pick, and huge play, really huge for us. There's no other way to look around it. So many other plays that you can talk about. Drake London's play was tremendous. I just talked about offensive line, talked about Charlie Warner. It just seemed like the offense is starting to click, and that's what we thought we was going to see from our offense. You know, start the season. It took a while, and maybe, you know, the preseason is finally over, and the Falcons offense starting to get together, right? But it's still so much more they could be. I think they're just starting to scratch the surface. They really are. So you got to love that. Next thing, guys, we're going to talk about pretty much I talked about game ball. For me, game ball is going to go to the offensive line. I think I agree with Raheem giving those guys the rock. Back-to-back weeks, pass protection was outstanding. Kirk throwing the ball over 50-something times, you know, and not getting sacked as many. I think like 2 times in the Tampa game. And then to go back this week to run the ball for 200 yards just shows you if we have to be able to air it out, we can air it out. We got to be able to run the ball, we can run the ball. So me giving the game ball to the offensive line is easily the choice for me because, you know, we expect those playmakers to do what they do. We expect Kurt to do what he do, but the offensive line, actually, we expect the offensive line to do what it does as well. So, but back-to-back weeks, being able to win in different ways, it gives you a good vibe because we can run the ball and run for 200 yards, but we can pass the ball and pass the ball for over 500 yards. So, and that's just special. That really is special, especially if you look at Todd Bowles and how he like to bring pressure and things like that. You got to tip your head out to the running backs, picking up blitzes, the offensive line, communication, picking up the stunts and things like that. It's just been something beautiful to watch the last 2 weeks. 74 points between the Bucks and the Panthers. Offensive line, you're gonna just tip your head off to those guys. They definitely get the game ball, and I agree with Raheem on that. EQ says AJ showed his speed on that play, and he ran down the running back. But yeah. AJ is an athlete, man. AJ is an athlete. He just, I don't know what it is. I mean, he just not one of those. He does not gamble. Like, you know, he's not a Trayvon Diggs or a Jalen. Those guys, they gamble, right? That's how you get picks. Really, be honest with you, you got to be able to gamble sometimes, and that's how you're gonna get burnt a lot of times too. Because, you know, Trayvon Diggs, you know, he can get 10, 11 sessions in the season like he did in one season, but he got burned a lot in that season because he take chances and things like that. And sometimes, you know, if you want to be that guy to go get picks and stuff, but then you got to have instincts, right? Like a Clark Phillips has, right? You know, he has one of those, you know, rare instincts that you be able to read quarterbacks and be able to react and jump on passes and things like that. So AJ is a solid cornerback. He deserved the money he got, but if he can start, you know, getting his hand on the ball more, that would really bring dividends to this defense, especially when you got a guy like Jesse Bates, Justin Simmons in the backfield, who's ball hawks as well. You put a guy like Clark Phillips out there who's going to get better and better. throughout the season, and then AJ started to get his hands on balls, man, that secondary would be scary. It really would be scary. So I agree with you. AJ is an athlete. And the one thing is really underrated about AJ's game is his physicality. He will come down and he'll hit you as well. So we like that. He's good in the run game. He will come down, make plays in the run game as well. So he had a big tackle on Chuba Herbert yesterday. You know, like I said, that's just normal things for what AJ does. So, but if he's able to start getting his hand on the ball, that would be really smooth and solid. Tamar says, what do you think about our record? We end up after 18 weeks. I said 11 wins. I don't know. I still don't know. Because we're going to get into it in just a minute. We're going to get into it in just a minute. But I said 11, 12 wins. What do you think our record be in 2 weeks? Did you see Simi lead the game? I didn't, but heard in the press conference of the coach. Yes, he did leave. It was for precautionary reasons. He also got interviewed by the reporters. He said he's fine. He's going to be good. But yeah, I think it was a tight hamstring. So they just took him out for precautionary reasons to end the game. He said he's fine. Raheem said he's going to be okay as well. So we'll see if, on the injury report on Wednesday if he hits on that see if he files on an injury report this week. Troy Anderson, he said they'll find out about him as well, see his progression. But you gotta like what you saw for Leighton Ammon yesterday. He called 2 fumbles yesterday. Both of the balls went out of bounds, but just his physicality, you see that back out there. So welcome back, Nate Landman. I thought he played well as well. All right. So game ball goes to the offensive line. All right, guys, let's get into something though that what I really want to talk about today. We're still top of the division, 4-2, right behind Tampa Bay. We got a tiebreak over those guys, of course. But there is some things, guys, that's still concerning for this team. And it might be for the rest of the season. We just don't know if they can improve on some of these areas. But the Atlanta Falcons do have things that they really still need to be concerned about. I'm not going to talk about penalties as much because it was less this week when you talk about penalties. It was really less this week when you talk about the penalties. So penalty wasn't bad, only 5 penalties. But the biggest thing for me, guys, is the run defense. The run defense is it's just weird that they was a whole lot better. They was a whole lot better last year in run defense, and they was in the 4-3 last year. I don't know if that's the cause of it because they're more in the 3-4 now, and it's opened up lanes or something like that. But it could be that. It could be the alignment where they're playing instead of being in that 3-4, they're in a 4-3. Playing being a 4-3, they're in a 3-4 defense. But the run defense has just not been good this season at all. It has not. Yesterday, 114 yards, but honestly, I felt like Carolina went away from their strength, which is running the ball. If they would have ran the ball more, I think they probably would have had a better success because we weren't really stopping him when he was coming downhill. But I just that's just one of the things is really bugging me. It's concerned. They got to get it fixed. We're going to play teams that want to run the ball later on. We still got to play the Aints again. Alvin Kamara. We still got to play the Bucks again. That kid Irving is dynamic. We got to be able to clean some of these things up. So I really believe that the Falcons need to be kind of concerned about their run game, defense on the defensive side of the ball. the Atlanta Falcons are last on third down conversions on defense, and it's due to the running game. It's simply due to the running game because we keep getting in third and shorts because they're running the ball, so they're getting good yardage on first and second down, putting us in third and short down. Now, Atlanta Falcons is really good in scoring defense because they're able to keep teams off the field. You go back to the Bucs game; they only gave us 6 points in the second half in the Bucs game, and they only gave up 3 points in the second half in the Panthers game. Right, so the adjustment they make coming out of halftime have been great, but it's keeping the teams in games because the first half is teams are gashing us in the run game. Our third down defense is not where it needs to be, so we need to be able to be better in the run game on defense. I know they know that. Looking at the stats, it's getting better, but it was a strength last year, and that's what I'm talking about. The same personnel, it's a different scheme. And they might need to look into that because yes, we don't have big dude, and we don't have Bud Dupree, so we don't have Calais Campbell, we don't have Bud Dupree. I get it, but for the most part, we've got the same personnel we had up front, and the run defense is just too leaky, and it could just be the scheme going from a 4-3 to a 3-4, and those guys are not filling the holes that they need to fill. So that definitely could be what it is. I'm not sure, but that's definitely what I'm saying. The last thing I want to talk about, and this is no shock, right? No pressure on the quarterback. I counted. Andy Dalton had like 6 seconds on one play, and it's ridiculous. He had like 6 seconds before he could find the receiver, and the Atlanta Falcons is not generating any pass rush whatsoever. Now Judon, I think he got a couple of penalties because they had to hold him a couple of times to right tackle. But honestly, guys, it's just not been what we wanted, what we thought it was going to be. The pass rush don't exist. I know you look over the games that we played and we've been behind a lot. So, and I just talked about the run defense. I think that kind of goes hand in hand because if they're able to run the ball, they're able to get the ball out of their hand fast. They're not holding on to it because they're not going deep. It could be the way our scheme set up because we keep those two high safeties back. So they're not going to hold on the ball to try to go downfield because we're not going to let them do that. So they could be just getting the ball out of their hand fast. I don't know what the cause is, but pass rush don't seem like it exists, right? Go back to the draft pick, right? We go back to Michael Penix, and I'm glad we got our quarterback for the future. I talked about it when I talked about that pick. I said that was a pick for next year, right? I didn't think it was going to have any impact on this year's team. And at this point right now, by the Atlanta Falcons not going out and get a pass rusher, you start to question it because right now I know we had Braylon Trice go down at the beginning of the season. They did get him in the third round. So one of our draft picks that we was going to depend on to be a pass rusher did go down. But going to get Judon to fill that void, you thought we was going to be okay. But at this point right now, when you talk about pass rush, it just don't exist, guys. It's not there. So that's one of the concerns I have. And that run defense is definitely 100% the two concerns I have. But you can't complain too much. Like I said, only gave up 6 points in the second half against Tampa. Only gave up 3 points in the second half against the Panthers, right? So that's why we was able to win both of those games because our defense stood up in the second half, right? And so I'm not upset completely, but I just think when you're starting to play other teams that not going to let you dominate like that in the second half, we're going to have problems. So that's what I'm talking about. We need to be able to get better in that. Look at some of these comments. O-line, no sacks, 200 yards victory. That's right. You got to like it. You see Rattler, yeah. He looked decent in the first half, and then Todd Bowles started light him up in the second half, and then he looked definitely like a rookie. He started to look like Desmond Ridder a little bit out there. We did not have a play reading linebacker. Now Nate back, it will help. Troy is a step late. Ellis is a step late on the run plays. It seemed like Ellis be hitting the wrong holes, man. I agree with that. So we'll see. You might be right. You might be right about that. But we need outside rush too. Yeah, I mean, it seemed like Armor Educator remind me of Vic Beasley so much. He's like a step late. He always almost there to get the sack every play. Like, dude, get there. He be there in the backfield. Don't get me wrong. He's putting the effort in, but he's like a step late every time. So we should use ZH as nose. Is that Harrison? Maybe, man. We need to do something. They need to try to figure out something. It's not working. Judon look like he's getting old. That's the reason no other team didn't go after him. Nah, I don't know, man. Like I said, he's getting pressure, and he caused a couple penalties in the game yesterday too. So he's getting pressure. He just need help, man. You know, other teams, you look at guys like a Matthew Judon, you know, he just need help. He just need help. Oh, it was his birthday yesterday. Well, that's probably why he probably won't get that big contract that he wanted. But man, you hoping it turn around, guys. You hoping it turn around. Those are my concerns, though. If we can fix our run defense, and then we can fix our pass rush, the Atlanta Falcons can be really, really good, man. Those are two areas for me that I'm still concerned about. Yes, the Falcons are 4-2, but you know, we can't be in shootouts. We can't be in close games all seasons. We got to fix those things, and we can start dominating some teams, man. That's what you want to do. You want to be able to get the balance, have the passing running like we had yesterday, 225, 200 yards. That's great offense, balance there. But you want your defense to play complementary football, and right now, that's just not what we're getting. So that's where I am, guys. So let me know what you guys think about my concerns. I didn't want to come in because I'm happy. That's why I got my victory hat on today. Don't get me wrong. I'm completely happy about this team. But if you want to be honest, because that's what we get on here to do, we talk about it. You got to talk about the bad too. And the bad is right now the Atlanta Falcons are really having issues with stopping the run and getting pressure on the quarterback. It's just those two things. And they're bringing pressure, simulated pressures too, and they're still not getting home. So that's a worrisome. So they got to figure it out. They got time. Maybe the trade deadline is November 5th. Maybe they try to go get something in the trade. We don't know. We know Terry always be cooking, so we'll just have to see how that pans out. But guys, at the end of the day, we just have to see how it all works out. So guys, that's my Victory Monday post today. I will be back on Wednesday to talk about the keys of victory against the Seattle Seahawks. Remember, guys, we need to be loud again in the stadium to come out there and do their thing. So they can come out and represent again. We starting to create a good home field advantage. Atlanta Falcons have won their last two games at home. Let's try to keep the streak going. We had 9 games in the home this year. We already played 4, right? So we got 5 more games at the house. So let's see, can we go 5-0 in the Mercedes-Benz stadiums? So guys, that's all I have. That's your boy Ricondo coming back at you with another video. Peace.